energy with the comrades is always on another level. Good morning once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of the Pengassan Energy and Labor Summit 2025. This is the 4th edition, a summit that began just 4 years ago and has come to add its voice to the discourse that helps shape policy, that helps shape laws in the oil and gas industry, but most importantly, that helps shape the workforce of the Nigerian oil and gas industry. My name is Richmond Osuji, your master of ceremonies for the next couple of hours and indeed for tomorrow. Just for your kind information, a quick reminder about where you are is the Congress Hall of the Transcorp Hilton. In case of an emergency, please locate the clearly marked exit doors. Proceed to the muster point, which is in front of the main entrance of Congress Hall to your left. The lavatories are under the staircase of the mezzanine floor. And indeed, take care of your personal belongings. Turn your phones to silence and vibrations. You are once again welcome. Moving on swiftly, I've already run you through the agenda for today. We're going to go on now. And once again, welcome the CCE of NUPRC. Welcome the Executive Director representing the ACE. And welcome the GM representing the ES of NCDMB. And welcome all of our distinguished speakers who've joined us here this morning. Indeed, our ILO representative will also welcome you. We welcome our past presidents. We salute our president who will be listening to in a few moments from now. We welcome our comrades. We welcome members of the press. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2. Onwards now to the opening remarks for this second day. Yesterday, he had to explain to us that when we say COC for C money, was not a personal money. It is the money for the comrades in the respective places where they work. But he's the man who is not just a leader. He's passionate about his people. He's at the forefront when they go to war, and he's advising in a time of peace. He lays foundation on those that has been laid by our founding fathers. He has continued the good work of our founding fathers, and I'm sure that every comrade in the room is proud to identify him as representing him before employers and before government. Please welcome with me a patriotic Nigerian, a committed comrade, and passionate for his people, Comrade Engineer Festus Osifo.
Solidarity, solidarity, great Pengassan, great Pengassan, moving train, injury to one, blessing to one, credit alert to one, credit alert to one, credit alert to one. Women are great, our gender, train a woman, educate a woman, solidarity, great Nigerian workers, ever conscious Nigerian workers, ever intelligent Nigerian workers, the nation building Nigerian workers, greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest Nigerian workers. Comrades, if you observe, I always say credit alert 3 times. You know, whenever we have our management in our midst, it's always good for them to hear that it is not, you know, initially we will say alert to one, alert to all, but we now recognize that alert could be two. It could be debit and credit. So the alert we are referring to is credit. And you know, the end of a month, when that credit alert comes in, there is how it soothes the mind. I wish to, in addition to the protocol that was just laid, to welcome our former presidents of Pengassan to the second day of this event. I recognize the presence of Comrade Austin Ezewaka, the presence of Comrade Gani Owoduni, the presence of Comrade Brown Ogbefun, the presence of Comrade Babatunde. I welcome us to this event once again. Then the former General Secretaries of Pengassan, Comrade Narebo and Comrade Bayo Olowo Shile. Then I wish to specially as well welcome the Commission Chief Executive. He was supposed to be here yesterday, but again, you know, the exigencies of this job at times could be a bit defining, and he sent his apologies, but he promised that he will be here physically today to deliver his keynote address. We welcome you, sir, and we thank you for all the things you'll be doing in the Commission. We know of all the innovations, of all the transparency that you've tried to bring to bear as far as the NUPRC is concerned, because that is the regulator of the upstream of the oil and gas industry. Your industry is as strong as the strength of the regulator, and you have proven that over the years that you have held saddle in that particular position. We appreciate you. We thank you for finding time to be here. And also, I wish to especially as well recognize this our mama, because she is about exiting. She's the current director of HRO in Chevron. She's somebody that we've worked closely together over the years. Madam Okunzuwa, we thank you for all the support. We thank you for all. We thank you for all that you have done for our people. We thank you for all the welfare packages that you've brought to bear. And we thank you for all that you have done for the Nigerian workforce. She's exiting in the next 1 month, so that is why we need to single her out for the exemplary leadership that she has provided. And I wish to also encourage all the HRO directors that are here to also emulate from her. And the man that is also stepping into her shoes is sitting very close to her, so he should be hearing, so that when that time comes, we will knock, and we will knock very, very hard. Thank you so much, Madam Okunzuwa, for all that you've done for all of us. And also to welcome all our experts that are here today to do justice to the topics of, to the topics that we have today. I wish to welcome you all to this event. Dr. Morizu, our comrade, our Eswa comrade, Newton Ichipi, Eswa comrade, but he's on the management side now. He's one of the HSE experts that we have in the industry. We welcome you to this event. And also all our, clap for Ichipi now, he's your comrade now. Solidarity. Then also the various representatives that we have across board. We have Igoweli. We appreciate you, and you are welcome to this event. Then also we have the representative of various HRO and ERO managers. You know, they are our first line of contact. I could see the ERO manager from Renaissance, Comrade Soton. We appreciate you, although he's not paying dues anymore, but it's still okay. I can't see Ken now, but I could see. You know, what HRO normally do is that they will come to Pengassan, they will look for all the best people, and they will start balkanizing them. I could see one of our comrades there. The first 2 editions of this program, he was actually the anchor, but he's now on the management side. He's now in Seplat, he's in the HRO side in Seplat. All those things you were demanding from management those days, you have to give it now to our people. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, sir. Then also the gentleman sitting there, the head of employee relations as well in NLNG. He was a branch chairman in NLNG when we came into this position. In fact, he was actually the co-DG of my campaign to be Pengassan president. And today he's the head of HRO. So they took him away and moved him again to HRO and employee relations. But he has been doing very well. He has been doing very well. Judging by the last outcome of the of the negotiation in NLNG and all other sundry issues. He has done quite well. Then also, I wish to also recognize my own, because if I don't recognize him, I don't know, maybe when I leave here today, I may not have a job again. He was actually the branch secretary when I was the branch PRO in Total Energies way back then. He's currently the employee relations manager in Total Energies. He's a very great comrade and has contributed his best to the growth of welfareism in Total. His name is Comrade Otobongowa. We appreciate you. You are welcome to this event. Sorry if I don't call you, maybe I didn't see the face, but to cut it very short, to also add the representative of the ILO. She has been here with us since yesterday. Madam, we appreciate you. We thank you for all you do for the workforce, and we thank you for the advocacy that you've consistently put up for the betterment of Nigerian workers and indeed for a better world of work. We appreciate you. We thank you for everything. Then also the Secretary General of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. I wish to appreciate you. You've been here since yesterday. Our veteran, our Comrade General N.A. Toro, PhD. We have MNI Daga. Let me add that one. Thank you so much. Then all the affiliate president, Comrade Jimo Oyibo, the president of FOPTOP, the immediate past president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, Comrade Dr. Tommy Okon, our lawyer, Shola Iji, who has been a veteran unionist over the years and has done everything possible to ensure that we enjoy some of the things we see today in the industry. We appreciate you. The members of the Central Working Committee of Pengassan, the General Secretary, the National IRO, the National Treasurer, and all the CWC members, the zonal chairmen, all the national officers, I appreciate you, because if not for your support, this program wouldn't have been a going concern. Then all the past members of the Central Working Committee, I appreciate you. I could see a lot of former zonal chairmen here. I could see the former deputy president also in our midst. We appreciate all of you for all that you do for the trade union movement in Nigeria. Solidarity. Solidarity. Yeah, comrades, if you remember clearly that yesterday we started this event and we had the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, the Minister of Labor and Employment, DCO and NPC, the ES of PTDF, and all the likes, the MD of ExxonMobil, the MD of Owando, they were all here. Some of the things that stood out yesterday that we also need to re-echo. If you remember very well, the GCO said that the refinery must work, and that we must do everything possible to make the refinery work. You've remembered. We have said this countless number of times. We have said this over and over again, that yes, the refinery should work, but that there is a model that we have operated over the years. And that model that we have operated over the years is what we refer to as the NLNG model. Bring the refinery to work. It is okay. But when the refinery is working, you divest. Let government have minority shares in it. You bring a refining company, not a tailoring company, not companies who are specialized in other industries or companies who are just portfolio investors. But you bring companies who know how to manage refineries. Let them come in and have the majority stake. As we have said, we have human resources in the refineries who understand how to operate the operations of the refinery. We have the human resources in Nigeria to make that refinery work. But as we know, if you work in an organization and you are not given the tools to work, it is very, very difficult for you to work. So there is a lot of politics going on over the years as far as refinery operation is concerned. But for you to be able to reduce that politics, the government must divest. You divest, you have minority shareholders, shareholding. In NNPC, in NLNG today, government had 49% shares. Then 3 companies, the ENI, Shell, and Total Energies, had 51% shares. With that, the majority decisions will be taken by the private sector. So this is what we have advocated for at least 10 years now, if my memory serves me right, or even much more earlier than that. And that is the model we want the government to implement in terms of the refinery operations, so that we will not maintain it today 2-3 years time or 2-3 months time, we will come back to the same position again. Then secondly as well, if you could remember yesterday, the minister told us clearly that there are some companies that they've sent a licensing round for them to do some approvals today. But these people were given licenses several years back. But today, they have not carried out you are given licenses to do what? You're actually given licenses for you to engage in drilling and production. But most of these marginal fields, most of these companies, they have not carried out the function today. That most of those fields are lying fallow. Today, in Nigeria, we have close or over 37 billion barrels proven reserves of crude. If we are hovering around 2 million barrels production per day, it's going to take us over 50 years for us to completely drill what we have beneath the soil. So that means effort must be put in place to increase our production. It is only when we increase production that we will reap the benefit today. So that when we reap that benefit, we could use the resources that we have harnessed. We push it into other sectors and ensure that they are developed. Dubai today was built by the oil money from Abu Dhabi. So why can't we replicate the same thing in Nigeria? This is not rocket science. So and I wish to also say this, that recently there was a marginal field bid round that was done. And the industry attested that that was one of the most transparent marginal bid round that ever been done in Nigeria. And I wish to thank the Commission Chief Executive for that, because we got the report. You know, before now, what they used to do, they give oil blocks to big men, right? To big politicians who doesn't even understand or have the expertise on how to go about the development. That is why you could see that over the years, people are given licenses, they keep it under their bed. Either they don't have the technical competence or they don't have the financial muscle, or they cannot attract finance to be able to develop, those fields. But the one that was done recently was very, very transparent. And we urge that we should move into that era where you don't need to know any big man. But if you have the technical expertise and you have the financial muscle, you will be able to contribute to the growth and development of the oil and gas company in Nigeria. Solidarity. Then before I take my seat, I think it is also auspicious to say this. There are some companies today, there are few companies today in Nigeria that are preventing members from joining the union. In fact, there is a company, 111 PLC. 111 PLC, as we speak today, is giving their workforce letters to sign that they will not join the union. This is 21st century. This is 2025, and we still have companies indulging in this. We wish to use this medium to let them understand that they must cease and desist, because if they don't, we will surely come after them. Solidarity. So I wish to employ us to sit down, relax, and enjoy day 2 of our Pengassan Energy and Labor Summit. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, keep the applause coming. Keep the applause coming for Comrade Engineer Festus Osifo, President Pengassan, President TUC, and the convener for this summit alongside the Central Working Committee of Pengassan. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you once again that we are live on one of Africa's leading broadcast stations, Channels Television. Again, wear that charming smile. You can't tell who is seeing you now. The president has pretty much given us somewhat success stories of Pengassan, a little challenges they're facing with some companies here and there. But he said something that is quite pertinent about the last marginal bid round. Put it this way. Imagine me amongst you comrades bidding for something against President Osifo. I will lose. On a normal, I will lose, right? But that marginal bid round was done in such a way that it didn't matter who you were. It was done, it was displayed on the screen. I say so because I was there, right? It was displayed on the screen. You will see a big name, I won't call their names, a big name company, big company owned by billionaires, going against a company owned by someone like me, for instance. I didn't bid, okay? But because that smaller company met and checked all the boxes, they won the bid. That's how transparent that was. I mean, I was blown away. Yeah, if you want to clap, you clap. That is high-level transparency that our next speaker brought to bear in serving his fatherland. Add that to the fact that just not too long ago, he called the industry and said, let us work towards 1 million barrel incremental increase in the industry. Shortly after that, we have been commended by OPEC for 2 months running that we have met our quota. And our Minister of State Oil is taking up that challenge to tell OPEC or whoever, if we need to ask for an increase in the future, we will do that. So when we speak about regulating the oil and gas industry, we're talking about transparency, we're talking about enabling business environment that will help the industry thrive. And all of this, our next speaker has brought to bear. Please welcome with me now, Commission Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, FNSE.
Great Pengassan. Great Pengassan. Great Pengassan. Okay, I'll later continue. Sorry, my voice may not spit fire like that of the comrade president, but I want to assure us all that the regulator is a comrade by heart. Yes. So, yes, you can clap. The regulator is a comrade at heart. Good morning, everyone. I think my job is made easy by the protocols that have been laid, so it's just for me to jump on it, and that is my task, and move on. But permit me to pay glowing tribute to the comrade President, that is President Osifo, the convener of this great event. I want to say that Comrade Osifo, to the best of my mind, has moved unionism beyond sheer radicalism to constructive engagement with the industry needs. And we can all share to that. Yeah, we all need that. The past presidents of Pengassan, I can see quite a lot of veterans here today, like the president has mentioned in his speech, the co-convener of this event, captains of industry, branch chairmen, especially I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my own branch chairman, that is Chairman OK. I hope he's here. That is the NUPRC. And the other national executive members of Pengassan, from NUPRC, other industry captains, the representative of my very good friend, that is the authority chief executive, the executive director, Mr. Sadiq, I recognize you. Other eminent people at this event, great people. My sister, the EVP in the NNPC, I believe you are still representing the GCO this morning. The representative of ILO and other eminent personalities here present this morning. Let me say that if I never understood the meaning of solidarity, that is solidarity. Yes, with the faces I'm seeing here, that is this large turnout, I think I now understand when comrades come and talk about solidarity with this great turnout. I can see that there is a unity, there is solidarity, and we say that this spirit should
continue. I mean, should continue to prevail. And I like to say that because our industry is at a point that is witnessing, I mean, that is a rebound, that activities are picking up. I'm saying that from the regulatory point of view, that our industry is gradually witnessing, I mean, that is a turnaround, positive turnaround for that matter. And of course, I'll be speaking with numbers because we are in an industry that is a fact-based industry. All of us acknowledge that. The industry is fact-based, so when you talk, you support it with facts. So I'll be dealing with that in the course of my presentation. So there are positive metrics, positive turnaround in the industry. And again, aside that, is to say that our industry, despite the capabilities of AI, that is AI, our industry is a people-driven industry. And to that extent, again, I want to again pay tribute and salute that is the Pengassan executive for the spirit of collaboration, constructive engagement with which you piloted. I mean, that is unionism in the industry that has fostered good industrial relations. Because, of course, the industry cannot thrive without, said it's a people-driven industry, regardless of AI, regardless of technology. It's people that pilot AI and, of course, I mean, the technology. So without professionals, without, that is the specialized skills that your members bring to bear, without spirit of dedication, commitment to productivity, because we cannot witness, I mean, that is the improvement. We cannot meet our target in the industry. So to that extent, I want to salute each and every one of us that are present here today for, I mean, your dedication to service, for all the, your contributions to the positive turnaround that I've alluded to that we are witnessing in the industry. I have a keynote address to present, and in the course of that, I will equally, like I said, from the regulatory point of view, try to address quite a number of issues that I think is germane for this kind of event, I mean, that you directly hear from me. So the president and executive members of Pengassan, distinguished leaders of our great oil and gas industry, esteemed government officials, captains of industry, development partners, civil society representatives, the media, and above all, the hardworking men and women whose skill, dedication, and resilience kept the wheels of our nation's energy sector turning. I once again say good morning all. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today in this gathering of like minds who are committed to shaping a prosperous, sustainable, and secure energy future for Nigeria. It is with a deep sense of partnership that I extend the warmest goodwill to the organizers and participants of this year's Pengassan Energy Summit. This summit has become more than just an annual event. It has evolved into a trusted marketplace of ideas where frank dialogue meets forward-thinking engagement and where collaborative problem-solving charts a part of an industry that directly contributes so much to the Nigeria economy. The choice of this year's theme, building a resilient oil and gas sector in Nigeria, advancing HSE, ESG investment and incremental production, is as timely as it is strategic. We stand today at a defining moment in both our national and global energy story. A time when the forces of transition technology and geopolitics are redefining the future of oil and gas. Indeed, energy transition is gathering pace around the world. Global investment in low carbon energy not only exceeded 1.7 trillion dollars in 2023, surpassing fossil fuel investment for the first time in history. This data is according to the International Energy Administration information, but also surged by an additional 24% in 2024, reaching an unprecedented $2.1 trillion, as reported again by Bloomberg. Yet, if history and experience are any guide, the nations that will lead this transition are those that strike the right balance between sustaining current energy security and preparing for the low-carbon economy of tomorrow. While hydrocarbons are still expected to account for more than half of the world's primary energy needs by mid-century, the International Energy Agency projects that renewables will supply nearly 90% of new global electricity generation by 2030. Both OPEC and the U.S. Energy Information Administration underscore that fossil fuels will remain indispensable in meeting the energy demands of expanding populations and fast-growing economies, particularly in Asia and in Africa. For Nigeria, the implications are profound, with proven reserves of 37.28 billion barrels of crude and 210 TCF of natural gas. Our upstream sector remains the backbone of the economy, delivering about 90% of export earnings and nearly 70% of government revenue. But our ambition must go beyond being resource-rich. We must be resource-responsible, harnessing hydrocarbons with world-class efficiency and environmental stewardship. We're strategically investing in cleaner alternatives. The urgency of this task is magnified by rising global scrutiny, climate vulnerability, supply chain disruptions, and local challenges, such as underinvestment and infrastructure gaps. Building a resilient oil and gas sector in Nigeria, therefore, demands nothing less than bold, transformational thinking and unified actions across government, industry, and labor leaders. As seated here, communities, the very kind of partnership this summit was designed to inspire. Ladies and gentlemen, at NUPRC, we understood that resilience is not a slogan. It is the result of deliberate and consistent action, guided by the transformative Petroleum Industry Act 2021. We have established a modern legal governance and fiscal framework that addresses long-standing investor concerns. We have complemented this with decisive presidential executive orders that have slashed average contracting cycles from 36 to just 6 months, enhanced local content value creation, unlocked globally competitive fiscal terms for deep water, frontier basin, and gas projects, and created opportunities in previously underdeveloped investment frontiers. In the area of incremental production, the NUPRC, through proactive industry collaboration, has been spearheading strategic initiatives that directly support the Project 1 Million barrels per day incremental production target. Let me speak a little to this. And I've used the opportunity equally to respond to, that is to share information with us in respect of the marginal fees that are due for renewal. And I think these are issues that are germane and that I should share information, at this forum. So, first and foremost, the 2020 marginal fee round that was concluded when the NUPRC took office. The awards were done, in fact, every award is done in the manner that awardees are meant to meet specific milestones, terms. And so within the 5 years period, it does not necessarily mean that, it does not necessarily mean that they should meet those terms of the award, at the same time. The point I'm making here is that the terms are done in a manner that is on milestone basis. So in that respect, so for the marginal fees that are due for renewal and in the characteristic manner in which the NUPRC has operated, we try to define a template, transparent template, to look at each marginal fee on case-by-case basis. So we defined a template that is assessment criteria and made it available to all the marginal fees, and requesting them to populate that template. And an expert team was set up that reviewed each of the awards, that is the case of each of the awardees on case-by-case basis with a score sheet that is equally very transparent. Because like the Comrade President and those of you here we allude to, in NUPRC, we pride to say we're a 21st century regulatory institution. And as such, transparency is our watchword. So whatever we do, we make it available to the public and of course, publish on the portal. So the score sheet is there to ensure that if we say any awardee is not qualified for renewal, the awardee, should be satisfied that the case has been looked at meritoriously. So it is on the basis of that that the result of the assessment has been forwarded to the Minister of State for approval. So we believe that in the weeks ahead, successful companies that have met the required milestone, I should say, to have their marginal fees renewed, that exercise has been done transparently, and we should be proud of this. So, apart from that, and I thank you very much, Comrade President Osifo, the truth of the matter is that the last bid licensing round that was conducted that ended in December 2024 is a licensing round that, again, as a country, we should be very proud of. It's a showcase for us in the country. We started by, that exercise, I remember the commencement was launched at that is an NEITI Dialogue Forum. And at that event, I made it very clear as the regulator of the industry that for once, we are going to ensure that the exercise conform with all tenets of transparency. So, step by step, we carried out the exercise, and of course, at the commercial stage, we made sure that it was telecast live, that everybody could see it. Even people, that is bidders that did not win at the end of the day, commended us for the spirit of transparency in which we carried out that exercise. And for the first time, NEITI, a member of NEITI, has written to congratulate us, and that has helped, again, in the transparency rating of our country, that for once as a nation, we can carry out such an exercise, transparently. And I'm very proud to say here that it's an exercise that nobody will say 1 penny bribe was paid to anybody. You can imagine that. Yes, the commission, did that, and we believe that we'll be able to sustain the momentum of that exercise. And that has led to vibrancy in the industry, and part of the metrics of measuring performance in the industry, like the recount, is currently growing. We project that before the end of the year, the recount that is the industry, will hit at least not less than 50 rigs. Yes, so again, that is a measure of progress. So, and that, in a manner, we believe that with power of collaboration, that the project 1 million barrel additional, that is the incremental production that we've launched, that by the grace of God and with the support of everyone here and the industry, that the country would succeed in hitting, and that is our target, production target. So we are still driving that resiliently, I should say. So at the heart of this effort is the cluster and nodal development strategy designed to maximize shared infrastructure, capture economies of scale, and enable coordinated tiebacks to existing FPSOs like Bonga, Egina, and Agbami. This approach significantly reduces project costs, shortens timelines, and de-risks investments. This collaborative model mirrors global success stories from regions like the North Sea, where cluster strategies revitalize mature basins and sustain competitiveness for decades. It also positions Nigeria's deep water as a competitive, investor-friendly frontier capable of delivering sustainable incremental barrels within the next few years. Coupled with reactivating dormant fields, accelerating approvals, and deploying improved recovery techniques, these efforts have already increased production from 1.46 million barrels per day baseline in October 2024 to 1.8 million barrels of oil today. That's a lot of improvement. With this momentum, we are firmly on track to reach our 2.5 million barrels per day target by 2026. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you may clap. We are making progress in the industry. So, yes, the truth of the matter is that there's quite a lot to celebrate in the industry. But the fact to emphasize, and that is what we have recognized very fast in NUPRC as a comrade, okay, we easily acknowledge. I always say that it is a people-driven industry. It's a people-driven industry. So we don't joke with the welfare of workers in NUPRC. We don't. Yes. yes. Comrades, we don't joke with the welfare of staff. Oh, yes. But I can see comrades, okay? Alert for one. Oh, credit alert. Okay. Credit alert for one. Alert for so we don't joke with that. So on sustainability and ESG drive, NUPRC is taking decisive steps to future-proof the industry. Our upstream decarbonization framework and gas-centric transition strategy aim to eliminate routine flaring by 2030, cut methane emissions by 60% by year 2031, and monetize our vast gas resources. Through initiatives like the Decade of Gas, the Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program, and the Presidential CNG Initiative, we are creating thousands of green jobs and positioning Nigeria as Africa's gas powerhouse. Like when you were expecting me here yesterday, Mr. Comrade President, there's quite a lot of abundant opportunities in the industry, and a lot of initiatives are coming up, like development of blue ammonia. And yes, the industry will again pivot that. So I was actually holding a meeting with, that is, God, remember, part of our mandate under the PIA is to promote investment in the industry. So MC, you remember the CC, we always say, it's a business enabler, not just a regulator. So we are a business enablers as NUPRC. So I was actually engaged, in a meeting with an investor that is interested in making Nigeria a hub for blue ammonia development. So that was the engagement. So we believe that with such strategic partnership again, that will open a window of opportunities in the industry. However, it must be emphasized that policy and capital alone do not create value. People do. The role of Pengassan members is very, very key and central. You are the skilled engineers, geoscientists, HSE professionals, project managers, and technicians who turn investment into output and output into national prosperity. That was why I disagreed vehemently with the multinational leader at the point saying that, oh, you don't have capability in Nigeria. I said, no, we have capability in Nigeria. If you don't, how come in our about 7 decades of exploration and production, I don't know of any multinational that has been declaring what? You know the huge, that has not been making profit. So if they've been making profit, that profit is people-driven. So to that extent, please clap for yourself again. Nigeria's youthful population with nearly 70% under the age of 30 represents a powerful demographic dividend, offering an energy and talent pool unmatched by most of other oil-producing nations. In many oil-producing nations, aging workforces are forcing companies to import talent to keep operations running. Nigeria's opportunity is different. With a younger, dynamic population, we have the chance to train, retrain, upskill, and even export world-class energy professionals. Those of you here we allude to, in NUPRC, we pride to say we're a 21st century regulatory institution. And as such, transparency is our watchword. So whatever we do, we make it available to the public and, of course, publish on the portal. So the score sheet is there to ensure that if we say any awardee is not qualified for renewal, the awardee, should be satisfied that the case has been looked at meritoriously. So it is on the basis of that that the result of the assessment has been forwarded to the Minister of State for approval. So we believe that in the weeks ahead, successful companies that have met the required milestone, I should say, to have their marginal fees renewed, that exercise has been done transparently, and we should be proud of this. So, apart from that, and I thank you very much, Comrade President Osifo, the truth of the matter is that the last bid licensing round that was conducted that ended in December 2024 is a licensing round that, again, as a country, we should be very proud of. It's a showcase for us in the country. We started by, that exercise, I remember the commencement was launched at that is an Haiti Dialogue Forum. And at that event, I made it very clear as the regulator of the industry that for once, we are going to ensure that the exercise conform with all tenets of transparency. So, step by step, we carried out the exercise, and of course, at the commercial stage, we made sure that it was telecast live, that everybody could see it. Even people, that is bidders that did not win at the end of the day, commended us for the spirit of transparency in which we carried out that exercise. And for the first time, Haiti, a member of Haiti, has written to congratulate us, and that has helped again in the transparency rating of our country, that for once as a nation, we can carry out such an exercise, transparently. And I'm very proud to say here that it's an exercise that nobody will say 1 penny bribe was paid to anybody. You can imagine that, yes, the commission, did that, and we believe that we'll be able to sustain the momentum of that exercise. And that has led to vibrancy in the industry, and part of the metrics of measuring performance in the industry, like the recount, is currently growing. We project that before the end of the year, the recount that is the industry, will hit at least not less than 50 rigs. Yes, so again, that is a measure of progress. So, and that, in a manner, we believe that with power of collaboration, that the project 1 million barrel additional, that is the incremental production that we've launched, that by the grace of God and with the support of everyone here and the industry, that the country would succeed in hitting, and that is our target, production target. So we are still driving that resiliently, I should say. So at the heart of this effort is the cluster and nodal development strategy designed to maximize shared infrastructure, capture economies of scale, and enable coordinated tiebacks to existing FPSOs like Bonga, Egina, and Agbami. This approach significantly reduces project costs, shortens timelines, and de-risks investments. This collaborative model mirrors global success stories from regions like the North Sea, where cluster strategies revitalize mature basins and sustain competitiveness for decades. It also positions Nigeria's deep water as a competitive, investor-friendly frontier capable of delivering sustainable incremental barrels within the next few years. Coupled with reactivating dormant fields, accelerating approvals, and deploying improved recovery techniques, these efforts have already increased production from 1.46 million barrels per day baseline in October 2024 to 1.8 million barrels of oil today. That's a lot of improvement. With this momentum, we are firmly on track to reach our 2.5 million barrels per day target by 2026. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you may clap. We are making progress in the industry. So, yes, the truth of the matter is that there's quite a lot to celebrate in the industry. But the fact to emphasize, and that is what we have recognized very fast in NUPRC as a comrade, okay, we easily acknowledge. I always say that it is a people-driven industry. It's a people-driven industry. So we don't joke with the welfare of workers in NUPRC. We don't. Yes. yes. Comrades, we don't joke with the welfare of staff. Oh, yes. But I can see comrades, okay? Yeah. Alert for one. Oh, credit alert. Okay. Credit alert for one. Alert for all. So we don't joke with that. So on sustainability and ESG drive, NUPRC is taking decisive steps to future-proof the industry. Our upstream decarbonization framework and gas-centric transition strategy aim to eliminate routine flaring by 2030, cut methane emissions by 60% by year 2031, and monetize our vast gas resources. Through initiatives like the Decade of Gas, the Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program, and the Presidential CNG Initiative, we are creating thousands of green jobs and positioning Nigeria as Africa's gas powerhouse. Like when you were expecting me here yesterday, Mr. Comrade President, there's quite a lot of abundant opportunities in the industry, and a lot of initiatives are coming up, like development of blue ammonia. And yes, the industry will again pivot that. So I was actually holding a meeting with, that is, God, remember, part of our mandate under the PIA is to promote investment in the industry. So MC, you remember the CC, we always say, it's a business enabler, not just a regulator. So we are a business enablers as NUPRC. So I was actually engaged, in a meeting with an investor that is interested in making Nigeria a hub for blue ammonia development. So that was the engagement. So we believe that with such strategic partnership again, that will open a window of opportunities in the industry. However, it must be emphasized that policy and capital alone do not create value. People do. The role of Pengassan members is very, very key and central. You are the skilled engineers, geoscientists, HSE professionals, project managers, and technicians who turn investment into output and output into national prosperity. That was why I disagreed vehemently with the multinational leader at the point saying that, oh, you don't have capability in Nigeria. I said, no, we have capability in Nigeria. If you don't, how come in our about 7 decades of exploration and production, I don't know of any multinational that has been declaring what? You know the huge, that has not been making profit. So if they've been making profit, that profit is people-driven. So to that extent, please clap for yourself again. Nigeria's youthful population with nearly 70% under the age of 30 represents a powerful demographic dividend, offering an energy and talent pool unmatched by most of other oil-producing nations. In many oil-producing nations, aging workforces are forcing companies to import talent to keep operations running. Nigeria's opportunity is different. With a younger, dynamic population, we have the chance to train, retrain, upskill, and even export world-class energy professionals. Of course, we know that in the industry, again, we are exporting skills to other African nations, like the activities of PTAN members. So your members, again, are helping in developing hydrocarbon in other regions. So positioning our nation not only as a leading oil producer, but also as a human capital of driving Africa's energy transition. If we strategically invest in education, which integrates science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, technical training, and digital upskilling, our youth can fill the projected 20 million new energy jobs the International Energy Administration expects to emerge globally by year 2030. Comrades, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the conversations we will hold over the next 3 days go far beyond oil and gas. They touch the very core of our economic sovereignty, the livelihoods of millions of Nigerians, and our place in the unfolding global energy transition. The NUPRC is fully committed to working with Pengassan, operators, service providers, and investors to ensure that Nigeria does not merely participate in this energy transition era, but actively shapes it to our advantage. Let us remember, resilience is not built by chance, but by choice. Today, we must choose to invest in our people, drive innovation, safeguard the environment, and forge partnerships that will endure beyond market cycles and political terms. On this note, again, let me profoundly commend the Comrade Pengassan President, Comrade President Osifo, and your team, in Pengassan for convening this important summit and for your tirelessness commitment to advancing the welfare of your members and the competitiveness of our industry. I wish all participants insightful deliberations and outcomes that will translate into tangible progress for our nation. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our economic enabling regulator for the upstream, Engineer Benga Kamola for FNSE. Let's please give him another round of applause. Thank you. From the upstream regulator, we'll move on and switch gears to our next regulator. Of course, you've heard the CCE mention something now about ammonia here becoming a hub for blue ammonia, and of course, many other successes in the upstream. But in the mid and downstream, the regulator is also enabling business in no small measures. One of it is to have what you call in the downstream business a reference market for West Africa that we do not have up until now. The regulator is seeing to it that becomes a thing of reality. And of course, when it comes to gas, they're also working in helping gas taking to the different hubs that will trigger industrialization for our nation. Our mid and downstream authority chief executive is not here with us in person, Engineer Farouk Ahmed FNSE, but he has sent in to represent him this morning, his executive director in charge of corporate services and administration. Please welcome with me, Mr. Bashir Sadiq.
Solidarity, solidarity, solidarity. Credit alert to one. The President TUC and President Pengassan Worldwide, Engineer Comrade Festus Osifo, my big brother, the CCE, the EBP, NNPC, former presidents of the Pengassan, my dear comrades, my branch chairman, where are you at? Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to represent the authority chief executive who is unfortunately absent today. And he is not here today because he is doing what the law provided for us to do, to support the industry and our stakeholders. He's somewhere commissioning a new LPG ship that is coming to Nigeria, a first, for a very long time, and he sent his very sincere apologies for not being here today. But in his characteristic way, he had asked me to read his speech. It may not capture exactly what he would have said himself, but I will try the best I could to deliver that message. So here we go. Comrades, brothers and sisters in labor, it gives me great pleasure to stand before you today. You are not only the backbone of the Nigerian oil and gas industry or the energy industry. You are actually its heartbeat. I salute your tireless commitment, resilience, and sacrifice. Without you, the workers, the engineers, the technicians, the operators, there wouldn't be any oil and gas industry in Nigeria. You are the most important part of that industry. I must also congratulate the organizers of this important summit, year in, year out, for creating this platform. You have shown once again that organized labor is not only about defending workers' rights, but also about shaping the future of our country. The theme of this summit, building a resilient oil and gas sector in Nigeria, advancing HSE, ESG investment and incremental production, couldn't have been more relevant. But, comrades, for us here, it is more than just a theme. It is a call to action. It challenges us to rethink how we work, how we protect ourselves and our environment, and how we secure jobs and livelihood for the future generations of Nigerians. We all know that the world is changing. The oil and gas industry is under the spotlight. We are being scrutinized for its impact on the environment and climate change. Yet, we must remember this truth. Nigeria still depends on this industry for jobs, for foreign exchange, for national development. We are the vehicle that will drive this country into the future. So we need to be at the top of our game. That is why we must not only defend the industry, we must transform it. And thankfully for us, we have a leadership in Pengassan that is driving that process. Thank you, Mr. President. In addition to that, it is our duty to make this industry safer, cleaner, and more sustainable. Health, safety, and environment, HSE, is not an abstract policy. It is about making sure that every worker goes home safe, every single day. It is about protecting our lives, our families, and our communities where this work is being done. Environmental, social, and governance reminds us that true success is not measured just by profits, but also in how well workers are treated. I am glad to mention that in NMDPRA, we take the welfare of our staff very, very seriously. We are one of the few organizations in the industry where we have never had any labor unrest during the period of our existence. Let me also mention that it is our responsibility to take care of our host community, to support them, and the environment, to make sure that the environment is preserved for the future generations to come. Comrades, the fusion of HSE and ESG as brought about by this very important summit is no longer optional. It is central to our survival and the survival sustainability of the industry as a whole. Across the world, investors, consumers, and regulators are demanding more responsibility, more transparency, as mentioned by Big Brother and as shown in the bid round that was recently conducted by our sister organization. Transparency is core. It promotes investment and it promotes fairness, and that is what the country should be about. For Nigeria, this is both a challenge and an opportunity. If we embrace best practices, we will remain competitive. We will also safeguard our jobs. We will attract investment, and we will create new opportunities for workers in the energy transition space. At the NMDPRA, we take this responsibility very seriously. Under the PIA, we are tasked with creating a transparent, safe, and sustainable environment. We have issued regulations to enforce strict HSE standards, to manage greenhouse gas emissions, and to promote inclusive decision-making. We always work with our stakeholders when we are making our regulations, and we carry everybody, including host communities, along when we are rolling out these regulations. We are also building capacity through training and skills development. We are leveraging technology for real-time monitoring and safety. We are strengthening partnership with labor unions like Pengassan to ensure workers' welfare is never sidelined. However, comrades, let us be clear. While regulations set the rules, you, our most important resources, are the ones who make this industry work. Every worker on a rig, every technician at the depot, every manager in the control room, every executive in the boardroom has a role to play. Deepening HSE and ESG culture means prioritizing safety over unsafe shortcuts, demanding fairness and accountability, protecting communities, and ensuring respect for labor. And unions like Pengassan are the voice that keeps workers strong. And respect in this journey is very, very important. We have to respect our workforce. Distinguished comrades, the future of this industry rests in the choices we make today. We must champion safety. We must reduce harmful emissions. We must demand transparency and fairness. And above all, we must protect the dignity and security of every worker. Let us make our workplaces safe, our governance transparent, our industry globally respected, and our communities and workers empowered. An environmentally responsible and sustainable oil and gas industry is not just about regulation. It is about fairness. It is about security. It is about dignity of workers, Pengassan members, and anybody that works in the industry. The NMDPRA is committed to working with labor unions to shape policies, strengthen capacity, and drive industry. We are open to suggestions from Pengassan as they usually do. The president has been very helpful in that respect. He is always there when we call him. He is a very important stakeholder in our affairs. Together, we can build an oil and gas industry that Nigerians can be proud of, an industry that values its workers, protects its environment, and compete globally. Comrades, if we implement the PIA 2021 with collaboration, consistency, and fairness, we will achieve a more transparent, competitive, and prosperous oil and gas industry for the benefit of all Nigerians. At this stage, I would like to thank you for your attention. I wish you fruitful deliberations and continued strength in solidarity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bashir Sadiq, Executive Director, Corporate Services and Administration, Arts, the Nigerian Mid and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, speaking on behalf of the Authority Chief Executive, Engineer Farouk Ahmed, telling us their own commitment as regulators to keep driving the wheel forward. Please give them another round of applause. We're switching to yet another regulator, and this time to a regulator who is part of our theme this year is HSE, security, of course, there. And part of their commitment is to ensure that when you train the people within where you all work, within the Niger Delta, you train them and give them the right skills from early on, from cradle up. They would grow up and become meaningful members of society who would also help the industry as professionals. They're committed to taking capacity building back to the creeks. They're committed to helping Nigerian expertise where they are found to be utilized for the benefit of the nation. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbe, FNSC, who is overseeing all of this at the board, is not here with us. Speaking on his behalf is the General Manager, Corporate Communications and Zonal Coordination. Please welcome Barrister Dan Esweme Kikile.
Thank you, Richmond. The Executive Secretary would have been here. I was with him in Lagos, and he had planned to be in this event. Unfortunately, as we speak, he's also attending to very high-level engagements and has asked me to express his sincere regrets to Mr. President and all other members of the union. I used to be General Manager, Corporate Communications, but now I'm General Manager, Human Capacity Development. So I'm sure that this team speaks clearly to me and also to NCDMB. The Executive Secretary has asked me to make these remarks, and I'll read his prepared text. The President and leadership of Pengassan, the Commission Chief Executive, Engineer Komolafe, the representative of the ACE, industry leaders, comrades, and this is my first time to speak in front of comrades. The last time I heard this song was when I was in the university. But it's very interesting to be here with comrades who are interested in ensuring that our industry continues to grow, and we also support the development of our nation. It is a pleasure to be here at this important energy and labor summit convened under the theme, Building a Resilient Oil and Gas Sector in Nigeria. I commend Pengassan for providing this platform to interrogate issues that are central to the sustainability and competitiveness of our industry. Today, as the Executive Secretary of NCDMB, I'll be speaking on the topic, Building Human Capacities for the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry. This is a subject that lies at the very heart of the NCDMB mandate. Our mandate is to build capacity of Nigerian companies and people to actively participate in the oil and gas sector. We are committed to fulfilling that mandate, and we continue to work towards ensuring that more Nigerians and more Nigerian companies are active in this industry. Prior to 2010, we all know the statistics. 15 years after, we have Renaissance, we have Seplat, we have Owando, we have Chapel, and all the other indigenous E&Ps that were not here before.
contributing significantly to our oil production and ensuring that we meet our OPEC target. So NCDMB is committed to ensuring that this mandate is fulfilled and even exceeded. The oil and gas sector is technology-driven and knowledge-intensive. Assets and infrastructure are vital, but it is human that unlocks their value. The future of Nigeria's oil and gas industry will therefore depend not only on the size of our reserves, but on the skills and competencies of our people. We recall during COVID-19, when it was thought that Africa will see citizens dropping dead on the streets and all the expatriates left our shores. Nigerian workforce, competent, qualified, and able, continue to run our industry onshore and offshore. At NCDMB, we have invested significantly in human capacity development programs designed to ensure that Nigerians are trained, certified, and empowered to contribute effectively to the growth of this industry. The Nigerian Human Content Capital Development Implementation Strategy is a scheme under which our project-based human capital development strategy for every major project executed in the industry must incorporate training components that transfer skills to young Nigerians and even experienced Nigerians. To date, thousands of Nigerians have benefited from specialized trainings in engineering, welding, underwater technology, project management, commercial airline pilots, and other critical skills. Vocational and technical training programs. We have supported training in areas such as automation, mechatronics, marine operations, health and safety, and pipe fitting, equipping young people with hands-on skills that meet industry demand. As I speak, because of the acceleration of digital skills owing to the COVID-19 era, NCDMB has retained 2 international training outfits to focus on digital security and digital skills, because we know that some of our new assets will have the kind of equipment that will require these digital skills. We will continue to build and enable an industry that produces for the benefit of our country. Research and development capacity building. Through our R&D fund, we are nurturing local innovation and encouraging collaborations between academia, research centers, and industry. This is essential for building indigenous technical solutions. Only a few years ago, we commissioned Amal Technologies facility here in Abuja, a company that NCDMB incubated at our incubation hub in Yenegua, who are into gas leak detection systems and have even transited into producing meter boards for electricity meters. That company is here in Abuja at Idu. So NCDMB, like our partners, NMDPRA, NUPRC, is not just a regulator. we are a business enabler. In-house, NCDMB has consistently invested in strengthening the competencies of our personnel. As I speak here, over 150 of our staff are going through the ISO 9001-2015 QMS training. Now, I was also in the training. I had to put off my mic to join this event. We want to be certified as an ISO 9001-2015 QMS organization. As I also speak here, we have 30 of our senior management staff at the Lagos Business School who are undergoing a 5-month training on decision-making and leadership. For us, it's important to build the capacity of our staff so that they can also work with an industry that is high risk, high reward. Our staff participate in structured technical and management training, both locally and internationally, to ensure we are abreast of global industry practices. We have introduced digital skills training, leadership development programs, and exposure to emerging technologies, positioning our workforce to lead by example in the evolving landscape. Comrades, distinguished members of Pengassan, the work of oil, the future of work in the oil industry will look different from what we know today. The global push towards energy transition, digitalization, and automation requires that our workforce must be agile, multi-skilled, and forward-looking. We must therefore prioritize 1, STEM education and vocational trainings at all levels. 2, we must strengthen collaboration between government, labor, and industry to align capacity building with emerging opportunities. So at this summit, let us remember that human capacity is not a one-off intervention. It is a continuous investment. Every training delivered, every Nigerian certified, and every skill transferred is a building block for the resilience and sustainability of our industry. As I conclude, let me say this. Human capacity is the true oil that lubricates the wheels of our industry. If we invest in our people, we can withstand shocks as we did during COVID-19. We can also adapt to change and ensure that Nigeria's oil and gas industry thrives for generations to come. I therefore thank Pengassan for the opportunity to share these thoughts, and I look forward to the outcome of this summit. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Quickly, let me invite the President. Thank you. President, please, I want to present please this way, sir. I want to present awards to 3 of our partners. I'll begin with NCDMB, and then the President will make his response as well. President.
Thank you so much. The GM capacity building, quite appreciate. And our regards to the ES for the support that we were given this year. This year it was a quantum leap support. Thank you so much. So on behalf of Pengassan, I wish to present the Special Recognition Award to NCDMB in recognition and appreciation of your immense contribution and support to the success of Pengassan Energy and Labour Summit, PEALS 2025. We appreciate you. Our regards to the ears.
Thank you, NCDMB. I'd like to invite NMDPRA. Sir, please, Mr. Sadiq.
On behalf of Pengassan, we wish to present this award to NMDPRA. You know, we started this event about 4 years ago, or 3 years actually. This is the 4th edition. So in 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Actually, some of the sponsors will be in this year, out next year. For NMDPRA, NUPRC, and very few others, they've been extremely consistent in supporting us to host this particular event. Because if not for their sponsorship, we may not have been here today. So we thank you so much. Our regards to Engineer Farouk Ahmed for all the support in the last 3 years plus. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I'd like to now call the CCE.
Just to say a few things first. Comrades, if you remember very well, in our NEC meetings, you remember when we started the issue of divestment. So when we started the issue of divestment, we were relatively skeptical on what is going to happen to the labor force. You remember very well when Seplat was knocking to buy the assets of ExxonMobil, the JV assets, when also Oando was there to buy the JV asset, that is NAOC, JV asset of Nigeria Ajib Oil Company. They're the same thing as well with Chapal and all the likes. In fact, we were a bit skeptical what is going to happen to the workforce. Because when you carry out divestment like that, it always comes with a lot of challenges. So we had a conversation with Engineer Benga Komolafe, the CCE of NUPRC, where he assured us that we shouldn't worry, that he's developing a framework that will take cognizance of the workforce. So he came up with 6 pillars of that particular framework. And one of the pillars in the framework is that before you buy any of these assets, you must go and have conversation with the unions. You must reach an agreement with the union on how to keep the job of Nigerians intact. So, comrades, I want to, on behalf of the NEC of Pengassan, to say thank you so much to Engineer Benga Komolafe, FNSE, because if not for that singular act, it could have been challenging. We have seen a lot of divestment in the industry, that at the end, a lot of our members lost their jobs. But I will tell you that the divestment that took place in the industry since 2023, not a single member of Pengassan lost his or her job against its own volition. Forever. So I hereby want to invite the Commission Chief Executive to then, comrades, I want us to stand up and give him 3 gbosas for that singular act. Because, you know, for everyone that is working in the Nigeria oil and gas industry, you know, we support communities, not just our families, and not just our extended families, but we carry the load of our community. And today, having done series of divestments in the industry and the job of our members remain intact, we are still working, we are still waxing stronger and stronger. Please let us give 3 gbosas to the Commission Chief Executive. 1 to go. Gbosa, gbosa, gbosa. Then also, to present this award, let me invite the president of Pengassan 1990 to 1992, Comrade Austin Ezewaka, to help present this award. He was the president of Pengassan 30-something years ago, and he was also employee relations manager NNPC several years ago. We appreciate you, sir. We thank you.
In recognition and appreciation of your immense contributions and support to the success of Pengassan Energy and Labor Summit PEALS, August 25, we now
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said earlier, NUPRC is one of the organizations that have supported us in the last 4 editions. Edition 1, Edition 2, Edition 3, Edition 4. And the support has been massive. Thank you so much, CCE, for your support. We quite appreciate.
Yeah, just hold on, sir. Hold on. Please, NUPRC, NMGPRA, and NCDMB, if you can please come up. NMGPRA, please, yes. Please come up. Let's do a quick regulators family photo with Presido. All right, let's take this picture, and they will take their seats, and then we will take the presentation of EVP Business Services. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for our regulators. And thank you so much, CCE, for that addition that has helped workers keep their job after the divestments. We thank you. So we're moving on with the agenda, and this time we're going to start taking our presentations. This time we're going to start taking our presentations, and our first for this morning is a seasoned expert with over 3 decades of experience in not just the oil and gas industry, but across diverse industries. The very first managing director of NNPC and Serve, and the first female managing director of Antan, one who has deployed her expertise in optimizing production and driving efficiency. She will speak to us in her capacity of her current designation. Please welcome EVP Business Services, Ms. Sophia Mbakwe. Say that again. Women are great.
Energy for tomorrow. Solidarity. Women are great. Train a woman. C-O-C-4. C-Ada. Energy for today. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to the president of Pengassan Worldwide and the TUC, Comrade Osifo, to the past Pengassan presidents. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the journey that you've brought to this great union. To our captains of industry, Oga Komolafe that has left, the CCE, NUPRC, my ILO sister, NMPRD, Nigerian content, distinguished guests, my NMPC Pengassan chair and my NMPC Pengassan team. NMPC Pengassan in the building. Solidarity. Distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm privileged to speak on a subject that I think lies in the heart of Nigerians' economic growth and industrial stability. And it's the critical link between industrial harmony in the oil and gas industry and attainment of our national production target. The critical link between industrial harmony in the oil and gas industry and attainment of our national production target. The Nigerian oil and gas industry, and I think we've heard it, remains the backbone and the mainstay of our economy, contributing significantly to development, government revenue, foreign exchange earnings, energy security, and we can go on and on. We started this conference yesterday, and I was really glad I came in yesterday for the opening. And listening attentively to some of the keynote speakers, there were some common threads in some of the things that they had said yesterday. I think one of the things that struck me was when someone mentioned that our industry has moved from the traditional old paradigm shift to management versus union, you and we and us, to now a collaborative partnership. And this gathering really speaks about that. We talked about an urgency for incremental production. Yesterday we heard we need to drive investment and we need to act with speed. That time is money, time is critical. We heard fossil fuel from the minister is still vital and is still here to stay. And that we must work towards ensuring goal zero in our HSSE practices. And that our people are our greatest assets. That every worker is entitled to fair wages, benefit, and a good working condition. And our collective bargaining should be data-driven. And every worker should be valued and should be heard. Hence, in thinking about industrial harmony, we need to look at the bigger picture. And I think the bigger picture for me is impact. Impact for the nation and fulfillment for the people, everyone, the workers. So for me, I think it's the perfect collabo for a win-win partnership where industrial harmony becomes a catalyst in achieving a national production target. So yes, we've had industrial harmony is not in the absence of conflict, but is really how we galvanize ourselves and really look at beyond the issues. What's the bigger picture? What do we want this to achieve in coming to some amicable understanding and amicable closure to those issues? The MD of ExxonMobil yesterday also mentioned that we need speed for financial investment decisions, right? And keeping the oil, as we keep the oil and as it's declining, is money in the ground. So as we are aware, in the past, the Nigerian oil and gas industry experienced significant production and revenue losses from strikes, industrial disputes, disruptions. We've had prolonged disputes that has led to shutdown. And of course, the ripple effect of that was loss of millions of dollars in deferred production, which of course eroded investor confidence, undermined government and fiscal stability. Beyond physical implementation, it also created an unrest and heightened security. Then let's not even disregard the emotional toll that those activities has on the workers themselves. So how do we link industrial harmony to national production target? Let's connect the dots. A stable industrial relations means uninterrupted production and operations. Uninterrupted operations means consistent crude and gas output. Consistent output helps Nigeria meet its OPEC quota, and we've heard Kamalafe when he really gave us the data and the numbers that we've attained so far and our goal towards 2027 and our budget projection. And then in meeting our targets, it means the ripple effect again is, of course, the revenue for the country, better planning, infrastructure, a stronger economic. It drills down to every common man. That's the role that we play in ensuring industrial harmony. It's beyond us. It's for the nation. It's for our people. It's for global impact beyond Nigeria. So hence, NNPC, as one of the largest employer of staff in the industry and its partner, we collaborate with our labor union, Pengassan and NUPRC. We've continued to take steps towards ensuring a firm partnership and dialogue. Forever. Forever. Energy for tomorrow. So we've continued to collaborate and ensure that we build that culture within NNPC. The past is over. It's now collaboration. And it's not just formalities for us. It's the foundation of our workplace in building that trust. It's the spirit that the union, management, government, we must consistently engage, not when we have an issue or a crisis, but make it as a culture, embed it in our everyday activity. Also, we have the Petroleum Industry Act of 2021, which also provides regulatory clarity and avenue for transparent engagement. Some of the clauses in the Act ensures that government must provide an enabling legislation on timely intervention mechanism. The employers themselves must treat the workforce as partners, not adversary. Unions must pursue their objective responsibly with a focus on the bigger picture. Employees must act with professionalism, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. Hence, we see this bigger picture and this win-win scenario. We must trust this collaboration process from our past to where we're going to in the future. From economic pressures, from legacy mistrust, from external security threats, from third-party disruptions, to where we now want to be in this collaborative effort. So what's our way forward? If Nigeria is to fully harness the potential of a hydrocarbon wealth, we must institutionalize regular collaborative consultations and discussion. And like I said, this platform is really setting the tone, and we look forward to seeing the communique that will come out at the end of this critical Pengassan Summit. We must continue to engage in capacity building and training for our workforce. We must create incentives for companies that uphold labor peace and harmony and productivity. Let's call them out. Let's showcase them. And we must discourage bad behavior. We've had examples from yesterday of companies who are deliberately, and I think the president mentioned, deliberately not trying to be part of the union. It's not about the past now. It's about that collaborative effort. We must recognize that long-term national targets can only be met with short-term internal stability. In conclusion, industrial harmony is a strategic leveler for achieving national production targets. As Nigeria aspires to meet its OPEC quota and even dare ask for an increment from the OPEC quota and boost our output for economic growth, fostering trust, transparent dialogue, and a collaborative framework was remain paramount. The success of this endeavor will not only secure production, but also reinforce Nigeria's global leadership for us as a nation and as a people. And I'm glad to be part of this platform, and that this platform actually exists. And I really commend you, President Osifo and the team, for creating this platform. And NNPC will continue to support and even do better in supporting as you continue to have this platform. Thank you for listening. Long live the Pengassan. Solidarity Women are great. Thank you very much.
Oh, amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. Me to this day. I give it up for the.
Thank you very much, Sophia Mbawe, Executive Vice President, Business Services for NNPC Limited. Oh, please give her another round of applause. We're continuing our presentation from the EVP Business Services. We're tweaking a little bit. I had appealed earlier in the day that we'll be tweaking our agenda just a little bit. And that tweak I'm going to do now. I want to thank my speakers for cooperating with us. As I said, due to exigencies of time of one of our speakers, we're just making this slight adjustment. Our next speaker comes to us with over 2 decades of experience working in construction with Julius Berger before transitioning into the oil and gas industry, beginning first in the services space with what is now known as SLB, working in different roles before being headhunted by Total Energies to lead HSE and different roles. He's worked in many other different leadership roles at Total since joining back in 2007. Anyways, before I bring up our next speaker, my technical team needs to sort something out, so I will just give them a second or two to sort that out because our next speaker will be using slides. But you know, sometimes technology can act up. The technology is acting up now, and the experts are trying to address it. Well, let me ask this question. If anyone here has been part of this summit for the whole 4 years, anyone has been here for the whole 4 years? Wave at me like this, the whole 4 years. Oh, nice. Really nice. Interesting. And anyone here who would say this summit has made you a better professional before you began attending this summit? Do like this. It's made you a better professional. Good. You know, apologies for that break in transmission. I just wanted to be sure that we're not wasting more time than is needed. Okay, haven't told you about our next speaker. It's time I ask you to join me in welcoming the manager, JV Operational Safety for Total Energies, E&P Nigeria. Please welcome Comrade Newton Ichipi.
Solidarity, solidarity, women are great, women are great, Mr. President, I count it a very great privilege to be standing before you as one of your own. Let me start by appreciating our distinguished and honorable guests, our past presidents. Thank you for supporting the president. You have always been here throughout all these programs, even the one of 2022, 2023, and 2024, and then you are here again 2025. It shows that the president is doing something that is good and you are supporting him. To our esteemed comrade, the Central Working Committee and the National Executive Member, I stand here as one of your own, my fellow comrades, to say it is a great privilege to be in your midst today. Can we have the slide on, please? And just before I go ahead, I want to appreciate our president for the uncommon leadership that you have provided within the oil and gas sector. Since you came on board, everyone can attest to the fact that the trajectory has never been the same. No wonder when they say COC4, of course, the transformative agenda that you have established in terms of aggressively pursuing workers' welfare and their remuneration is evident, even in the chants that go on every time in the room. And then, of course, I equally want to draw to mind as well that the theme of this year, building a resilient and a sustainable oil and gas sector in Nigeria, the president is not just doing this today. Since he came on board, he has actually been living this dream of wanting to build a resilient oil and gas industry that will outlive us. Okay? And then, I remember very vividly that the president himself is an advocate of sustainability. You know, during the time when we came in, or when he came in, there were issues with the operators where we had the issue of cash call. He did not just only advocated for a regime to stabilize the cash call payment of the operators, to enable sustainability and drive the business investment. He equally stood and frontally confronted the issue of declining production when we had the issue with the oil theft. I remember I was part of that progress. For everything that you have done, I want to say a very big thank you. Technical team, can you put the slide on the main board, please? Okay, so, Mr. President, before I go ahead, in these few minutes, I am going to create a divergence point. I'm going to be walking my own road as an HSC professional, so I'm not going to be speaking to the very much positivities that have been given by our other speakers about the progress that we have made. Yes, we have made the progress, but the thing is that in HSC, we look at the challenges and we try to address the challenges in order to have an holistic, healthy, and a safe environment to work. Incremental projects is good, but if we must go on the way of incremental project, we must do it successfully. So as an HSC person, we will talk about producing successfully, safely. Yesterday, I wrote something down from a recap of the GCEO, and I'm going to be building my presentation on that. He said HSC is our license to operate in the oil and gas sector. That resilience is not inherited. The resilience is not inherited. It is built by decision, a conscious decision. It is built by courage, and it is built by partnership. And Pengassan is demonstrating that collaborative partnership that would set the tone for a resilient and a sustainable oil and gas company. He equally said that we are not only interested in building an oil and gas sector that we survive, but one that we thrive on the backbone of HSC. So on this note, I will be opening up a new chapter, a new frontier on deepening stakeholder HSC responsibility to foster a resilience and a sustainable oil and gas in Nigeria. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, technical team. Okay. We are taught to always have a backup. So I think I will refer back to my physical slide, but I will not do justice to it if the people are not able to see the text and the pictorial picture that I would want to depict the message I would want to pass. My apologies is always like this, and this is one of the reasons why we say in the oil and gas company, safety and environmental equipment must never. Okay, we are good now. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I can. Okay, let me put this one in my pocket. Thank you very much. Okay, so we go ahead. We've passed the acknowledgement, we've gone here. And so, the stakeholder versus the industry, we all are all the stakeholders for we to build a sustainable and a resilient oil and gas sector. We must stand together having the same HSE responsibility, because HSE responsibility is actually the building block for a sustainable and gas oil in Nigeria. Okay, so I have here a case study that I would want to focus my presentation today on. Okay, the fragility of the oil and gas sector, a case study of Trinity Spirit FPSO, an explosion that happened in 2022, to be precise, February 2nd, 2022, in one of our operated OML 108. Okay, so the source of my presentation is actually given. I will come back to this later when we go further down the slide, just to tell you why I chose the source of that presentation. So what actually happened, on that fateful day, something happened, something went wrong, and there was an explosion. 10 crew members were on board the FPSO, 3 were reported rescue, we had 3 fatalities, and 4 were unaccounted for, meaning when we say unaccounted for, their body were not recovered, so they can be presumed that they are dead. And then we have on environmental impact. As at the time of this incident, the FPSO was holding a capacity of crude within the region of 50,000 to 60,000 barrels. The exact volume of oil spilled in the environment was not known. In terms of asset loss, we had the total loss of the FPSO. But here is what is very interesting for me and what I have come to share with you this morning about the oil and gas sector, looking at it from the prism of HSE. Okay, so Lloyd List, after the incident, wrote an article, and in that article, it was titled, "Why Trinity FPSO Explosion Was Not a Safety Anomaly, but it was an incident that shouldn't have happened in Nigeria." The incident itself did not just reveal some of the things that went wrong, but again, it unveils the fact that we need to do more in terms of our HSE management system and HSE practices on the field. Okay, so looking at it, said Nigeria quickened energy infrastructure has suffered years of underinvestment, leaving an aging fleet of risk-laden units, operating in a regime where safety and security challenges abound and pollution incidents are common. Okay, the case of Trinity Spirit, an unflagged ship, unclassed, 46 years old FPSO owned by a defunct company in receivership, which exploded, has exposed the fragility of the oil and gas sector in Nigeria that has some teething issues, talking about aging unit, lack of maintenance, and asset integrity concerns. Of course, I said I do not entirely agree with for the lack of maintenance, because yes, of course, we do carry out maintenance, but we can say our maintenance may not necessarily be adequate. But why the challenges surrounding the maintenance and structural fitness of aging FPSO is well understood by class. Operators currently developing safe life extension project, the aging infrastructure in Nigeria, and to some extent across West Africa, present more significant risks. So in a couple of the few slides, shall we? So in a couple of slides, I shall be talking on, can we come back a little? Okay, thank you. Okay, so my presentation basically will be anchored on asset nearing design life, asset integrity, the divestment, emerging opportunity, and the HSE risks, and then of course the impact of costs. We will look at that, and then the optimization, and then HSE impact for other investment, accident investigation, and transparency, reporting transparency, and of course the role of stakeholders. I will be very, very fast because I understand that my time is limited. So understanding the challenges, okay, you can go to the next slide. So we have talked about incremental project, how we have moved from 1 million barrel to 1.6 and to 1.8. But the main concern really is the shape and the form and the safety of our assets. Today in Nigeria, predictably, we can say that our asset, most of our assets, given the typical design life of our asset, most of our assets are actually either approaching their design life or surpassing their design life. And this is really the main challenges that we have. In the president's remarks, he made mention about some of the integrity concerns and all that. And you will agree with me that once your asset is getting to the design life, you will begin to see enormous issue with integrity concern as it may be. And some of these integrity concerns, if not well addressed, these are the issues that can actually lead to a catastrophic incident or technological risk event that would distort the resilience and sustainability of the oil and gas sector. So for offshore platform, it is put at 25 to 30 years, FPSO 20 to 25 years, and for the storage facility, and then for onshore, you can see. We all here are stakeholders, and we are all food soldiers in the oil and gas. You can tell where your